Good evening. It is that Sunday feeling again. And look at that, a full team tonight. We have Mike McCaffrey, Billy Wood, and the poshest name in football for a goalkeeper, Monty Watson Price. Gentlemen, how are we?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Obviously, I
Well,
was
mate,
with you. I was with you yesterday. We were at the Nest at Lockswood for Milo. We're going to that a bit later. Great day. But yeah, back at it, haven't we?
That is it, mate. Back at it Sunday. We all know what it is. In bed by 10 for me. You lot can carry on after. Uh, Bill, how are we, mate? How was LA?
yeah, it was good. Very busy with work. Apart from the sightseeing trip I made last Sunday that we all got to be
Yeah.
part of last time. But yeah, no, really good, really productive with work. Just non-stop, absolute non-stop. However, I did develop the most ridiculous cough, and I am drinking so much green tea, honey and lemon at the moment. So if you see me disappearing in my pajama pants to the kitchens because I'm getting another honey and lemon. Right, but apart from that, it was all good. Nice to be back. I had a bit of a situation this morning before we get into the fun stuff. So my women's team game today.
Yeah.
Um, Pitch inspection set for 9 o'clock in the morning. Obviously, I'm back from LA. I'm going to bed a lot later, just due to the time zone differences and stuff. Set my alarm for 8:30, so I'm like, right, even if I oversleep, I'm going to be up for the pitch inspection. I woke
Love
up
that.
at 7 a.m. My phone turned off, ran out of battery, and I woke up past 11 a.m. Turned my phone on. I had 56 missed calls. Um,
Oh
some
dear.
people thought I fucking died in my sleep or something. Like it's very rare to get hold of me like at any time of the day, right? So yeah, my body just obviously needed it, but yeah,
Yeah.
there was a lot of pissed off people because I'm the connect between a lot of conversations. So yeah, our game was off. The pitch was completely flooded,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll let everyone know 2 hours late. I've not heard from the
It,
team since, so I think they're a bit
it,
annoyed at me.
Yeah.
Bill, you fly about a bit. Do you find
Yep.
it easier going back east towards America or out to Asia wise, getting you sleeping?
I find it better this way. Like, I
Yeah.
like, yeah, weirdly, so when I go out there, so when I go out to America, say for example, I land, I don't know, in the evening. I try and stay up as much as I possibly can. But realistically, when I'm in America, I sleep between probably 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. I
Yeah.
only
Right.
sleep because I wake up in a panic because we're 8 hours behind. So my phone, I wake up to so many messages, emails, like work stuff that I just can't settle. Right. So when I come back, I've exhausted myself so much by not sleeping
You
that
didn't get ill.
like on the way back, I left at 10 o'clock at night over there, slept the whole 9.5 hours, like slept the whole nine. Arrived back in England at like 5:30, wherever it was in the afternoon. Got home, I was in bed by 10, like Lee Penn,
Yeah.
and I was asleep until 9 in the
Feels
morning.
good, didn't it?
It did, and then obviously last night I went to bed but then the second day it hits me and I just can't switch off. I
Yeah.
didn't get to bed last night till about 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I didn't even realize it was 2 o'clock in the morning. But I thought, right, set my alarm. I'm going to be up anyway. I don't really sleep. And yeah, I was the first time ever in my life I've ever done that. My phone switched off at night. Battery
Wow.
I just didn't put it on charge
You-
properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Global. It's global, isn't it, Billy?
yeah,
Exactly.
killed me.
Exactly that. And to my bottom right, Monty. You've had a pretty good weekend, I've got to admit. You got the Roffy win yesterday, and then your boys went and spanked Tottenham today.
Yeah, I mean, overall, the last week's been probably slightly less eventful than Billy's. I mean, I think I left my house a total of like 6 times. So rushed off my feet. But great win
All
yesterday.
those seminars.
Great win yesterday. First win in, 6? And then getting to see the mighty Gunners stuffed Spurs just rounded it off perfectly.
Well, we're going to your game a bit later, won't we?
Yeah.
But I keep getting knockings on this fucking guest door, mate.
Oh,
Really?
Brad,
Who
mate,
is it?
let's open
Yeah.
it.
Who is it?
You got someone popped in from Dubai.
Here he is.
Evening all.
No
How
one
are
likes
we?
us. We don't care. We're all
Yeah, there we
yeah.
are. We're here. We're in the building.
How are we, Charlesy?
Yeah, good mate. Bit tired, mate. Bit tired. Midnight over here, so yeah, stayed up to jump on with you boys.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it, mate. But well, I mean, let's talk yesterday. Big win for your boys against Guernsey, and looking at that win now. What's the feeling, mate?
Um, yeah, look, we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. But look, I think realistically, anyone in the top five is still in with a shout. When you look at the fixtures and everyone's got to play everyone, I think it's Heaths and Stennings to lose. But with the form ourselves, Peacehaven and even Guernsey, I think they'd won 12 out of the last 13 until yesterday. So, I think everyone's in for a shout. And look, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing, the cliche game at a time. But,
Yeah.
we definitely feel that we're still in for an outsider's chance,
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got to ask you before I hand over to the other gents here, mate. Your Fisher twins, they're something special, aren't they?
Yeah, to be fair, Leon was suspended yesterday, so he didn't play, but he's been amazing since he came in back end of
Yeah,
last year. And not just trying to, well, we will single him out. Noel Fisher, and I'll say it and I'll scream it from the rooftops, is the best player I've ever seen at this level. The boy is incredible. Give him that freedom to play and go and express himself, and he does things I've not seen anybody do before.
yeah,
He's, he's a
And
really nice lad as well, isn't he, Charlesy? Both of the
do you know
twins.
what?
both.
That they are top lads, and do you know what? They look after themselves. They don't drink. They're in the gym pretty much every day of the week. They look after their bodies, and we've got. I know for well I've had a step two club contact me today about Noel, asking about maybe bringing him in there in the summer.
Mm,
But I'll make no secret of it. Like I will try and get him a full-time deal come the end of the year somewhere. I think he's that good, but someone's just got to take the chance.
exactly that. Gentlemen,
Yeah, I mean,
any questions?
yeah. Look, let's talk about the game yesterday, Charlesy. Right. So me and Penn came out with 3 days review over in Guernsey. Had a fucking wicked time. Met your staff, met your players, got to know you properly behind the scenes, all that lot. You went there, took a 3-2 win, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
3-2.
Yeah, great. And you were valued for that then. Come back over here, 4-0. I'm hearing it could have been 5 or 6-0. I'm hearing things like they tried to target a few of the players, including like no and that. I saw the way they took it down. What now can you go on and achieve? Because after the results, I don't think, and I think we're going to talk about this on the list, I'm not sure if it's a 2-horse race anymore.
Yeah, no, look, like I said, I don't think it's a 2-horse race. I think realistically, and I think Kevin and Hammy would say the same. I think they're very aware of what's behind them and the form of the teams that are behind them. When we talk about resources all the time, and again, I always go on about it, but they have got the two biggest squads that you think the fixture pile-ups and stuff like that they should be able to handle. But listen, when you're at the top of the table and you've got people chasing you, it's not nice. It becomes nervy, and every game's must win, right? And
Mm,
for us, there's so much. There's no pressure. We was never spoke about being a title challenger. When I come into the football club, that they hadn't collected more than 46 points in 7 years. So
Wow.
and it's credit that people spoke about us in the summer to be in and around the playoffs. But what right do we have to be anywhere near the playoffs? I inherited a squad basically was non-existent, and had to completely rebuild it. And we're just going to keep doing what we do, Mike. And you know, like I said, I think there'll be a few more twists and turns, you know, in these last 10 games or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Before I chuck you over to the lads, I know the recruit you, Harrison, Paul, the lads have done, right? It's well documented your links with some of the bigger clubs around and they're able to draw them over here for, quite frankly, less money than they would get going out on loan to other clubs. Okay, what are you doing different, or what are you telling these lads that could quite easily go on to other clubs about YM down there?
To be honest, right, it's, you know, especially with the bigger clubs, you know, we've got an amazing relationship with Bromley, and
Yeah, I
you know,
know.
for them, I don't think it's about the money. I think it's that they trust that we look after the boys, and I don't think that one lad that we've had can go back and say they've had a bad experience. I think that's really important in a player's development. You know, that they're looked after. We create as professionally as we can the environment for them to come into. So you know, it's not, you know, there's step 5 sides out there that don't run nowhere near like we do off the field. Not trying to blow our own trumpet, but we've got an incredible team, you know, and we go, you know, to extreme lengths in what we do. And the lads that we've signed, you know, I've just signed 2 lads the last couple of weeks that want a hell of a lot more money than they are coming to us. But it's about the project, what we're doing. I think our
Yeah.
identity, you know, for me, it's all about our identity and how we play. And, you know, not everybody will fit in, you know, so we're looking at it now like it has to be the certain type of player to suit what we do. High energy, hard working, you know, we press extremely well, which, you know, I'll give away our game plan a little bit, but I think everyone's played us now where sides now, Monty will tell you when we went to Roffey, they played a back 5, allowed us no space in behind and just banked up. And we, you know, that day we just couldn't deal with it and we couldn't break it down. So yeah, you know, I just think it's a real feel good factor. And as I said, you know, I think create the right environment, you know, create that real winners mentality, and the lads don't want to leave, you know.
Yeah.
And also when you create that winners environment, I think it's easier. You make sure a recruitment process, once you've got it in place anyway, it makes it a lot easier, doesn't it? Because people will want to play for you, Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? Like people will want to be involved in, and everyone wants to be involved in title races, in promotion pushes. Like it's a lot harder, I guess, for people to want to be involved in a relegation scrap. So do you feel like because the process you created in the summer and because you kind of gone on that bit of a journey this year and you're up there challenging, playoffs, I would say you're, like, I don't want to jinx you, but I think you're certain for the title. I still believe it is a 2-horse race. I think the others are around it, but I still think it is a Stenning Haywards Heath challenge. And if neither of them don't win it and someone else comes on underneath and wins it, shame on both those clubs, if I'm honest, regardless how good everyone else is doing underneath them. But do you think that what you created in the summer has now allowed you a platform to effectively not pick the players you want, but like you can be a little bit more selective and the conversation's a lot easier with players when you're bringing them in?
Oh, 100%. You know, and if we roll back to December 24,
Yeah.
it was extremely hard. Extremely hard to recruit, and you know, it was literally just trying to get in whoever I could to try and get results.
Yeah.
You know, and it was always when I took the job at YM, it was always about this season, and it was about just trying to get through and then having a fresh slate to put my own identity on it, create something that represents how I like to do things. Yeah, you know, and you're right, Bill. People want to be involved in title races, playoff races, you know, at the top end of the table. And when we was down there last year, no one would want to come to us. Do you know what I mean? So it definitely does help. It definitely does help. But I do think that I keep going on about it, but the environment is so key. You know, you know yourself. Obviously, you've just stolen Harry Haynes off me, haven't you, Bill? So, you know,
not just me, yeah.
But no, jokes aside, you know, like I'm sure you'll see Harry absolutely loved it with us. But
Yeah.
you know, as a scholar at Bromley, you know, really needing to to push himself on, he had to take that jump. And I think if you ask him straight up, if he already had his pro, I don't think he would have gone. He would have saw out the season.
Now sit
And
out, yeah.
he's been honest about that. But you know, that just says everything, I think, mate.
Do you think then, right? And you're in the mix of it big at the moment, right? And your full focus has to be Horsham YM. But do you feel you've now laid the foundations for yourself and your management team and your staff that, and I don't want to put words in your mouth here, Charlesy, so you can always no comment it and pass it past, right? But do you think that you've set yourself up now that level-wise, your group, your coaching staff, your team, your setup, the way you operate, the culture that you bring, do you feel like now you can take it outside of like which you predominantly your career as a manager has been in county level? Do you think it's now time for you to step into those Ishman leagues and
Good question. Good question.
Really good question.
Yeah. Do you know what? Look, I'll be lying if I said that it isn't what I want next. You know, and I've been open with Steve, my chairman. I know he's probably listening.
He's a great guy.
Incredible guy. You know, he is. And I spoke in our first dugout, Mike, and I said it's all about, you know, pick your chairman, not your club, right? If you remember that comment, and he is definitely someone that
He's
you
a
know
diamond,
I
mate,
would pick.
Steve.
Incredible. You know, so supportive. Like, does you know? I think I bugged the life out of him, to be honest, with you know how my OCD sets in, and you know, thank you to him for putting up with that. But yeah, look, I think you know you know you got to earn your stripes, right? And I look at it now, and I do believe that we would be an asset to pretty much any club in the Isthmian, with what we bring to the table. However, like I say, why can't we get up this year with YM? That's
100%.
you know, and that's what we've got to look at. Listen, like I've made no secret about it. I want to go as high in the game as possible. To me, it's not a hobby. You know, it really isn't. To the fact that you know this family holiday that I'm on, I've made sure we left Saturday
know
night
you
after
have.
the Guernsey game,
Coming home
straight
early,
to
Yeah.
weren't you?
straight to the airport, and I'm back. I'm back in time for Eastbourne United on Saturday. So I've had to cut it a night early. So in the bad books. But look, for me, it's about the bigger picture, and I just feel that why not? Why wouldn't we be able to work? You know, I think we can work higher than that as a group. I really do.
Yeah.
You know, I back us. You know, and eventually I want to be in full-time football, however that may look. But look, that's where we are. Look, we are at the moment. We're at step 5, county football.
Yeah,
Could I
your
do
chairman is listening. Look.
I'm
Steve, sorry, I wasn't trying to set it up. I'm sorry about that. And I'll just
Charlie, address this one quickly, mate.
go out to ask questions.
Charlie, address that one. That
Seven
comment
days.
line.
So I think he's had 5. He's
Is that
had
official
5.
approaches?
Pardon?
Official approaches, yeah.
Well, yeah, we won't start talking about that, Bill.
You
But
did
yeah,
tell
no,
me. You did tell me. You said, I said, who's good to sponsor in your team? You went the Twins straight away.
Yeah.
Didn't you? You did say that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Well, I think you sponsored Leon, didn't you, first, and then in Guernsey,
And then I had
we
to
got
In Guernsey.
to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, no, look, he's had the latest was a step 3 club in Sussex, and look, what I will always do is right. I found out. I rang him straight away and I said, look, no, this has come through. Are you interested? He said, nah, not interested. Like, don't want to talk to them. And that just says so much, you know. Even I took Noel down to Bromley just before Christmas. I asked Bromley just to have a look at him. So he went down there. He trained with the 21s. Then he played in like a B team game over at Notts County.
Did well,
And
didn't he?
yeah, he did do well. But you know, at his age, I think first team would have to take the interest there. He's now just turned 21. If he was 18, I think they would have gobbled him up there and then, to be honest with you. But what I will say is, even that conversation, you know, he wasn't, Charlesy, I just want to enjoy my football. I'm loving it at YM. I'm playing with my brother and my friends, and I just want to focus on this season. And I think that's just showing in the numbers he's getting. And, you know, that boy will have a hell of a highlight reel come the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, Giles, you're cutting your holiday short to get back for Saturday's game. But how are you feeling about the upcoming cup game against Eastbourne?
Yeah, look, excited.
Dress rehearsal.
Sorry.
Dress rehearsal, Mike said.
People have heard.
Yeah, no. To be honest, I'm a bit disappointed with the ruling. We had two postponed, so they've moved
Yeah.
it to Borough, which is a massive disadvantage to us. Them coming to us on a heavy pitch on a Tuesday night, home advantage and all that. It does matter, and for me that they're the fine margins, right, for us to have any chance of success. But look, one thing I will say is that we won't change what we do. We'll go to Borough and we will put on a real show of what we're all about. Listen, if we get destroyed for doing it, so be it. But we're not going to go there and change what we do effectively. Don't get me wrong, I'm not being arrogant in saying that. What I mean is we have no right to win the game. Why not go and really express ourselves and and for some of the boys to platform themselves.
Yeah.
I don't want to make the podcast all about Noel Fisher, but unfortunately Noel's cup tied for that. But playing in that sort of level game, like, I think is where he deserves to be, and it's a shame we don't have him. But look, we've got some very, very good young footballers with us, and for me, I'm all about their progression and development. We'll never stand in their way and always try and push them on. So hopefully they're in the shop window.
Absolutely.
Mont?
Mons, anything to ask?
I mean, we managed to avoid the Fisher brothers when you came to us with their little Christmas holiday. But looking at your results and the games you've lost, I mean, you lost one in August, one in September, two in October, two in December. So when you lose, well, your last four games they've come in pairs, which may not be significant, but it's interesting to see that you go on the big runs of, like, you went November without loss, you've gone January without loss, you're gonna go February without loss. I mean, the team cohesion there must be, like, impeccable. I mean, I see the photos that are on the Instagrams, on the Twitters of the team just being such a unit. And is that the most important thing for you when you're looking for a player?
Do you know what? It's, again, really good question, Monty. But we talk about environment and culture, right? That is it. And I think nobody, we've just signed Richard Pingling from Midhurst. He scored 3 in his last 2, and I've worked with Richard for years. I had him at Croydon, and I had him at Epsom for a short period of time. And he came in, and he's had to really buy into how this team play. And nearest man to the ball, you work your nuts off to try and get it back, and it just but because of the rest of the group, straight away he's doing that. And that's something that I would probably say in his game probably wouldn't have suited this current group. And we had a long chat about bringing him in, and there's no doubt in his ability, right? He's a clinical goal scorer. But I did have to have a little question about, is he going to do that running that Usman, that Jesse, that Sam Hards, that Fisher, that Adam would do, and look, he's come in and just he's doing it himself as well. So it for me, what's important with a player is the buy-in. We expect people training. We expect people to be respectful to one another, look after each other. And just try and, I know it sounds cliche again and it may be a bit cringy, but create that family environment, and for me, I think people around the club.
I saw it.
Yeah, well, we've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what, like that was a brilliant time, Guernsey, and that brought the group so close. And I'd always say, if you're going to Guernsey as a team, do not fly back the same day, because
Yeah, I agree.
it was the memories we've got from that trip will last a lifetime.
That coach fight
you
over.
say that, Charles, you won that day, right? If you go there and get tonked 7-0, your night might not be the same. Do you know what I mean?
No, of course, and listen, that's that's a great point, right? But thankfully we didn't lose 7-0. So as I said, memories to last a lifetime.
Yeah.
You know, Connor Cole cutting his pants, jumping in the harbour on Sunday morning,
I
going for a
was
swim.
just about to ask
You
that.
know,
Who was it
just-
again that jumped in?
that was Connor Colkite. You know, he wasn't even in the match day squad, Con, and you know, just again the buy-in. There's lads that you know playing in our under-23s that would get in most county sides, but they're here because you know they want to be a part of what's going on. So yeah, no, fantastic.
One
Yeah.
lad, we won't say it was. One lad went missing though, didn't he? He was lucky we got him back on the flight. We won't say who it was.
we won't say names, but we know. Gentlemen, have we got any more questions for Jarzy before we
Let
let him
get
go
back
and get a
to
good
his
night's
Honestly,
sleep, mate?
his 5-star hotel with his,
Yeah.
with his butler on call whilst he's sitting there. Do you know what I mean? With his like all his gear on and all that lot. Giles, you're a fucking legend, mate.
No,
Doing bits.
the butler's got the night off, mate. Don't worry about that.
And also Harrison, all the boys over there. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that.
Yeah, good luck for the rest of the season, mate. And if you make you will make the playoffs. Like we're rooting for you, 100%.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, boys. Enjoy the
Have
rest
a
of the
good
show.
one, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Good night, brother.
See you later.
So that's mad with this show, isn't it? People can just jump in left, right, and
Yeah.
centre.
That's
That's-
what we're about, mate. That's
what the show is all about.
Unfiltered, uncut, loads of rubbish, loads of people jumping in.
Yeah.
Alex Lang jumping 2 weeks ago.
Hey, Bill, you see that out? I like that. Is that like an upside down LA?
Upside down, yeah.
I like
That's
that.
nice,
Mate.
mate.
It's a bit
I've
like an
seen
off-white. It's a one-of-one type shit. That, isn't it?
Do you know, I'll be honest with you. I'm only wearing it because, like I said, I've been coughing all day. So I've been sitting in pajamas all day, right, watching football. My hair's an absolute state. And I looked and thought, shit, I've got a podcast in 15 minutes. What I'm going to do. So hat goes on, protects the hairline as well. So it's all good.
Lee, where are we going?
He's great, and he's like he does get mixed reviews. You know, not everyone likes what they're doing, and I don't get why, because I think they're, you know, what they're doing is tremendous there, and there is a real buy-in from the players, and it probably, and Giles has probably created it like for the right reasons. They've got like a real kind of Millwall, no one likes us sort of attitude, like all in it together. Quite loud on socials. Like even I saw that the Horsham YM account said YM is the project, Billy, which is a great comment.
But they've got to be able to take it. Like if they give it, they've got to be able to take it.
Exactly. And but to be fair, I think Giles, he responds to a lot of people that give it. And they're not always going to be right.
I think in that league, you know, the top six that the batter it about, your Heaths, your Peacehavens, your Guernseys, your Stenens, when they give it, they graciously take it back as well, and that's good.
Yeah, you got to.
Social media can't be it can't be a one-way thing. We're all going to get battered. We're all gonna say silly things or do silly things or be on the end of silly results. Saying that, today is an anniversary of mine today. Oh,
why? What happened?
Was it your first game?
Beckenham away.
Is this the 9-0?
Beckenham away, the 9-0.
So I'll tell you the best bit about that, right? So all the stuff happened. We're going to the list and have some fun, but it's the anniversary. It's quite funny to look back on now. The night before was when Alex Lang went on social.
I'm glad you can have a good look back on it, mate. I'm glad for that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got past
100%. You got to learn from situations, right? So the best part of it. So I left Upfield on the Wednesday night / Thursday morning. Did the training on Thursday at Lancing. Had all these problems with the players. Had the Langy kind of live stream on the Friday, which it wasn't the fact that it was Langy talking on the live stream. There was a lot of shit that weren't true that I couldn't really talk about. So I was like, it did make me anxious. Didn't really sleep well that night. Pissed down with rain for 3 days straight. Beckenham's pitch is atrocious. It ain't been on for about 3 months. Every game's been called off. So I'm like expecting it to be off. I've gone for breakfast with members of the AFC Upfield Town Committee that morning.
Is this after you've already left?
I've already left, yeah. So I've gone for breakfast with them. I've gone for breakfast.
Well, what are you trying to achieve with that bacon and eggs?
What? I'll just being nice, mate. But like, you know, like
that's fair one. That's fair
and I really got on with everyone there. So it was never There was never a negative vibe from Upfield. Like even when I left, Upfield never posted anything negative about me at all to anyone. In fact, they backed me a lot of the time, which was lovely for them to do. But like we went for breakfast, we had a chat, like made sure that there were certain things in place that they were all right over the next month or two. Offered my full support for the rest of the season if the club needed it, all that sort of stuff. I was ready to go to the Beckenham game just in case, but there was no chance it was going to be on. So I'm driving back to my house, right?
Is this the game you didn't turn up for?
No, I turned up for it. Yeah. So I'm driving back to my house because I'm not expecting the game to be on. I'm going to go and pick some bits up from my house. I'm thinking it's not going to be on. Game on. We turn up at Beckenham. You step on the pitch. Water's coming up through the pitch. It's full of water, right? Have we lost Mike?
Oh.
And he'll come back. I'm sure he will. He'll be in a sec. And then, long story short, we get there and it's the famous 9-0. And I actually, for a laugh today, one of my physios mentioned it to me yesterday, and has just put on our ex-staff group chat, because we still got a group chat of all of us boys that were staff at Upfield and at Lancing together. And it was one of those moments. I remember 30 minutes into the game, I turned to Sam Piper and physically went, "What the fuck have we done? What have we done?" But you know what? We rode it out to the end of the year, and it is what it is. But happy anniversary to myself and to my staff for the great job we did at Lancing. Have we lost him? Is he gone?
Well, we seem to have lost.
He's got technical issues.
Mike at the moment. He's here, lads. Just a bit of a technical issue.
Right. Well, that could be anything with Mike, couldn't it? So before we go on to list and stuff, how was your game yesterday?
Yeah. That is very true.
I mean, interesting game.
Wait. We've got huge delays here.
I mean, interesting game. Am I going to be talking or?
No, seems to be all right.
Yeah, I said that about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm all right. Monty, you okay?
I'm good.
Sorry, lads. I was just chatting.
Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, of course I can, mate. Sorry, mate.
Lee, can you hear me?
Yes.
Right, I think we got Mike back.
Monty, you can hear me, yeah?
Yeah.
It's not my internet that's gone.
Monty and Mike, you're on the same wavelength as me.
Can't blame that on me.
Of course, yeah.
He's behind again.
Mate, he needs this crowdfunder, doesn't he? He needs this. If you know what they say, don't you? You know, give $3.99 a week to save an elephant in Africa. Do you know what I mean?
Lee, you're gonna have to go off and come back on again, mate, because you are about a minute behind. Look at his face.
To save an elephant in Africa. I mean, it's unreal, isn't it? It's unbelievable, isn't it?
It's not me.
See that? Cam, you're right. Yeah, Cam, you were there that day. Like, you know, we threw together a team.
Lee's coat might have blocked the
Is his coat right? I was going to ask Lee, Mike. I'll ask you. How was your game at Loxwood yesterday?
Mate, I'll tell you one thing, right? So we went down there. First and foremost, wonderful hospitality from Mark, from Ian, Graham, the boys, and everything like that. Beautiful. First time down the Nest. Never been down there. Absolutely.
I've never been.
Never been. Absolutely. Have you never been? It's pretty similar to Roffey. It's surrounded by trees and everything like that. Okay. They've got a wonderful community club. They've got a couple of snooker tables, pool table, beautiful bar, darts, even a squash court and that built in. You know what I mean? It's really nice. And outside they've got like an outside bar and an outside where they do the burgers. Jesus, I mean those burgers. I had a magpie burger, mate.
They were good.
Butcher's meat, sausage in it, crispy bacon, onions, tomatoes in a crusty roll, mate. Bit of burger sauce, mate. And you get that burger and a pint for £8. Tell me that's too cheap, isn't it? You know, but
bargain, mate. Bargain.
Yeah, Mile Oak, literally controlled the first half of the game, did well. They defended really well, didn't let Loxwood get into it. Second half, Loxwood come more into the game, but by the time it got to 2-1, and then Milo scored the third, the game had killed. You know,
It was too. Yeah, it was too late by them for Loxwood to come back into it.
But we got to go in the change rooms before the game with Loxwood once they did their team talk, everything like that. We got real behind the scenes access that we're putting. We really put a video. We're gonna put another video together as well.
Okay.
You know, we had a great day. I can't thank Mark, Ian, Graham, and the lads enough, because literally it was brilliant. You know, problem was, Bill, I was driving, and they
What?
mate, and they given us get access to the bar. You know, help yourself and things like that. You know, I'm sitting there like that, half a lemonade after a thing, going, all right, boys, in bed by 10. He's taken away. He's got his double vodkas going like that everywhere. You know what I mean? He's got like 3 drinks on the go. And that Dean, the cameraman, came out. But look, Milo deserved it in the end. And
all I say is, don't ever hire Dean as a cameraman, because he's useless.
Yeah, he turned up, did a few shots, hit the bar,
and then disappeared.
Didn't leave.
But
but anyone that wants to go down there to the Nest, go down and see. You have a great time down there. Really, really welcoming, lovely area, lovely pitch, and that lovely hospitality. Can't rate it enough. You know, thank you to the guys. Really, really am.
Yeah.
And there's Ian, the Loxwood manager. You saved me some money. I was driving, mate.
If he weren't driving, woof.
It would have been over.
You would have had a roast on Sunday if he weren't driving.
And the thing is, they even got Cruzy Campo in for you, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They did. I'm on a one-man mission. I'm on a one-man mission to get a £1 sponsorship from Cruzy Campo. That's it. I thought, this is my goal for this thing.
Never know.
But yeah, great time. But yeah, Milo deserved it on the day, warts and all. But thank you to Loxwood for their hospitality. Wonderful hosts, wonderful.
Yeah, right. Really worth.
So a little let's like use that to move into the next thing. So Milo won. Puts a little bit of pressure on a big bet that I've got with Stuart Slaney. Right,
it does.
Milo in the playoffs and Shoreham staying up.
I think so. He's on a desert island at the moment.
Shoreham versus Lancing, where we saw that Shoreham took all 3 points.
Yes.
So I want to say this, because we can batter people, we can have an opinion when things aren't going to go well, but we should always give someone credit where credit's due, right?
Yep.
The former Shoreham, they picked up 7 points in our 6 games. That's the best they've been for months. So look, whilst it's not championship winning form or whatever it is, there is an improvement there. So you've got to give Connor a lot of credit there, right? So I'm reading the
absolutely.
So, you know, well done to Connor, well done to Shoreham for the win, the Derby Day win. 1-0, clean sheet. It's worrying times for Lancing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. I know I couldn't really talk much last week because I was on that stupid fucking bus, which I really was embarrassed to be on, if I'm honest. But I was on that bus.
I would have done the Hollywood bus, mate.
I can't do it. I'm scared I'm going to bump into someone I know and they're going to see me on the bus, right? And also going up some of those fucking hills, it's scary as anything. You think you're going to go over the edge. It's horrible. And I'm scared of heights. So going to Lancing, full disclaimer, I sent Martin Gander a message. Look, I get on really well with Stu, but I have managed Lancing and I'm not to the point where, because of what happened there or how I was treated, I'm not against Lancing in any way. In fact, completely opposite. There's a reason why I went to the club in the first place, because I genuinely like the club. I really like the supporters. And every time I went to Lancing, whether that was with Hastings or just as a supporter to go and watch or just watching a game of football, I always felt a real connection with the club. So I don't want the club to be suffering in any way, shape or form. And it's horrible to see. but they lost they lost a friendly to Upfield the week before, right? Who Upfield ain't played a league game in about 400 years by the looks of the results. They might have improved. They might, like, it is what it is. But with all due respect, that you shouldn't be losing against a team that's down there. Obviously, Martin then went on social media and made a comment about he didn't feel like everyone was pulling the weight forward in the team, and they got beat by desire, by Upfield, and not by quality.
And that's fair enough.
I do like that.
100% fair enough.
Yeah.
They go into this big derby game. And, some good players have gone back there. We obviously had Lange on a couple of weeks ago. We know Lange is, especially for that level, a very great addition. A very, very great addition. And they bring in, a few others too. And for whatever reason, it's just not clicking down there. And it hasn't clicked all season. They're now bottom of the form guide. They are now bottom of the league. They don't seem to be able to still win anywhere. What does it mean? And this is kind of an open question, really, right? Okay, because I actually, for all the praise I'm going to give Shoreham, I still think they're going to be I think they still will go down with Lancing, just because I think Vardinians will have enough.
Owen's a ref. Did Owen ref that game?
I'll throw out a dog of a pitch in Grim River on another day. Lance will quote something. Right, okay.
But if you ref that game, mate.
So, he did. So, if they're lacking the physicality, that's a worry for me, because the county leagues are all about, in my opinion, about physicality. It's not about ball playing teams trying to keep 82% possession and being all gun ho and attacking. You've got to defend well as a unit. You've got to attack well as a unit. It's about who's better in both boxes, right? So, for me, the concern, the amount of the issues in Nuggets coming from what I've heard, it was the same. So
I want to finish that build, and I want to say something about that.
Yeah. So, I'm worried for them as a football club, in a sense of, if they go down to step 6. It's a great opportunity for someone to take the rise of the Phoenix and take them back up the leagues, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
Because it still is a great club. It's still got access to great facilities. It still is a well-supported football club. Yeah, there are supporters there who go to watch Lancing, who sing Lancing songs and what have you. Whatever league they're in, I believe they'll still be there supporting them. Because they're decent. They're decent people. They're not obviously educated in everything that's going on at their football club. Especially when I was there, they weren't very educated in what was going on. But at the same time, surely at some point, the football's got to come first, right? It's got to come first, and it smells to me that it's not at the moment at that football club. Now, I might be wrong, and I love you guys to jump in here and correct me. But something's off. Something's off massively.
So
Dale Hurley's coming there, and he took over a club where they've shifted loads of players in and out. You know what I mean? It's like it's chaos. He's come up and he knows the club inside out. He's done the youth there. There's no doubting at all his coaching credentials.
No doubt at all. None.
No. He's at Russell Martin doing that. Actually working with Connor at Russell Martin. Ironically.
Yeah, they work together.
Yeah, from that game on Tuesday night that me and Lee were at, I really thought that Lancing should have at least had a draw. It just couldn't finish. Do you know what I mean? They just couldn't. At the moment, it seems when your luck's down, and that. And then go back to a few things with, like, Martin, for example. He does so much at that club.
Yeah, he does. He's brilliant. Martin's great.
As a chairman, literally does so much, and he wears his heart on his sleeve. And when he called out whether it was the players, whoever he was called out and said that, he did that because he loves the club. Do you know what I mean? And as a chairman, you're supposed to sit there and say, you take the plaudits and you take the powers, But at the same time, he's turned that club from being completely in the red, to in the black. Financially behind the scenes, he's done that, something a lot of the fans won't known to because they were in dire straits.
Yeah,
You know
massive
that,
dire straits.
You know that, Bill, yeah?
Yeah.
And he's done that. And now what he needs is those players on the pitch that he's given the faith to the coach with and everything like that to put something else in, you know. What is their character like? Look for the leaders. Look for the people that actually want to be there. That's why your Langies have turned up, yeah? That kind of character, he'll want to be a winner. He ain't come over there to get a thing. He'll want to win with the people. You know what I mean? That game at the weekend, though, neither team could have drawn. One had to go out and win it. Do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, Shoreham took it. And there was over 300 people there as well.
Yeah, 305 people.
Which tells me both clubs have a loyal fan base.
Yeah.
If they were doing better, if they were up in the league, up in the sixes, the sevens, or the fives, pushing for playoffs, they get even more. So but you've got. There's only so many times the fans can go, oh, we're losing this week, we've lost this week, go again. You know what I mean? And that. But when they get that win and push on, they could be that 12th man. And someone had to lose. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I want to say as well. So obviously we were there Tuesday. We saw it. I looked at that Lancing team, and I would say they didn't play as a team. They played as individuals. And when you're down the bottom and you're fighting and you're struggling for points, you've got to play as a team. Sort of leader role wise, didn't really see much of it Tuesday. I could not look at that team and go, well, who's the leader? Who's the one that's going to come in and be like, look, lads, we've got a real problem here and we've got to sort it out. Someone in this dressing room needs to stand up, put their big boy pants on and be like, right, this is how many games we've got. This is what we need to do to get out of trouble. We've now got to be focused and we've got to do it and get shit done. And Martin had every right to come out and say what he said because he's had to deal with it all season. And again, he's the only one that comes out and puts himself forward to say it all. You don't see anyone else doing it. It's only him.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but you don't hear anything from the management or playing side of things either.
Nothing.
So and not every manager wants to do an interview after every game or say what they want to say. But sometimes it gets rid of sometimes it actually alleviates the prep. We'll talk about that one in a minute. I actually think he wouldn't have, and I'll tell you why in a bit. But I think maybe so Dale Hurley's there, right? But he's with who's he with? He's alongside someone, right?
Don't know who the other person is. Who he's with?
Monty, you know?
Not off the top of my head.
It's bad. It's bad for me to say it because they've partnered up previously. I'm sure they have. Other places, and one's more.
But is that a concern?
Rhodesy, James Rhodes, right?
Oh, Rhodesy, right? Yeah.
But
okay. Rhodesy, good guy.
Some people, who's the Cam's? We might as well ask Cam. Cam's in the know, right? He's online here and he's saying stuff, right? Who's actually the manager? Because
is it?
There's not I don't think I've seen any real dialogue or anything since it happened. I don't think I've seen anything from the club. I think there's been a meet the manager. I don't think there's been any. So when Dean Cox come in, it was all we're in this for a long run, and Dean was doing all the PR and the press and stuff. And he bolted out for his own reasons, right? I don't think any of us found out why.
I did a dugout diaries with him 5 days.
No, I listened to it.
And then they left.
him and Rhino. I was like, what am I doing? I've given them the kiss of death.
Yeah.
But they gave no indication that was...
Well, I remember. Do you remember when I messaged you and told you I knew?
Yeah, and I was like, but I've just done an interview with him like 48 hours before, and there was nothing.
Yeah. So, right. So, okay, they're joint, but Dow takes because obviously he's in the dugout.
James is playing.
Okay, so I don't know. I know it's hard when you're down the bottom because you don't want to always stick your head above the parapet because You don't want people taking the piss out of you and make comments and stuff. And sometimes it's easier just to the results happened. Like they're getting like Larson are getting no abuse online for this season, like none, right? Absolutely none. They could end up suffering a double relegation, and no one's talking about it, right? No, which is either because the supporters have got bored talking about it, because personality-wise, and Dow's a big character, right? And he's also a bit Marmite. Like some people like Dow, some people don't, because he's aggressive on the sidelines, right? He is aggressive and likes to mix it up. Good, and
I like that. I like that
100%. And I like Dow for that reason. I like Dow because he has a little level of ego. Like he has a level of ego about what he does, and but nothing's like it's just kind of like it's just happening, and I think that's worrying.
And you know, if they did get 2 wins on the spin, they jump about 6 places.
100%.
Yeah,
that's
crazy. It's crazy.
Crazy it is down there.
Yeah,
but this is the thing though. But then you look at it and you go, for me, I think like Middlesbrough needs to be safe. Crawley down Gatwick, I think will be safe, right? Because of the games in hand, even if they pick up 1 win in those games in hand, it adds up an extra 3 points to the gap already, right? So it makes it 6 rather than 3. Or Lancers are on 15 points now at bottom. It makes it a little bit bigger. Yeah, Vardinians are right in the mix still, but I just think they seem to be harder to beat. Does that make sense?
yeah.
A bit more harder to beat too.
Lingfield getting dragged in there.
Who? Lingfield could end up back in there 100%. So for me, it's 2 out of 4 that will go down. I just think.
I agree with Cam there.
I think Lancers are too, like. Is it too?
Tuesday away to put it down.
Is it too arrogant to say that I think Lancers are too big of a club to go down?
No, and do you know why it's not too arrogant to say that? Because for the catchment area, the support, the amount of youth teams around there, and the amount of people that can actually get there on a day and want to get and have done in the past, sometimes you think they may be too big in that way to go. Especially as don't forget when they came down into this league, everyone was going, "Oh, it could be Steading, it could be Lancing. Lancing put a bit about."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, right.
Yeah, 100%.
And so getting the fans there when they're winning and when they're doing well will never be a problem. The thing is, you've got to do your bit on the pitch.
Yeah.
If you're gonna pay 7-8 quid to get in, you got to think. And Owen said, look, some good players. I love Owen, right? He's an absolutely quality ref, one of the best. The best.
Even if he gets it wrong, he tells you why he got it wrong. Brilliant.
Mate, we did some filming with him for a game with Ringman Westfield, and he come on after the game. Yeah, he answered every question. Literally, he didn't duck nothing. He was spot on.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He knows I rate him.
Mm.
But yeah, right. What's next?
Well, yeah, let's move on to that. Look, again, I'm glad. Like Shaw have been a big feature of this podcast, so congratulations to them on 3 points.
Yeah.
And it gives them now a real shot at trying to be safe. It's still going to be a hard task for Connor. It's going to be a very hard task, but at least they're in with a shout rather than dead and buried and gone by March.
Yeah.
And look, I hope things change at Lancing. For me, it's a big club. It's a big opportunity, I still weirdly have a real soft spot for them. I check Lancing results. Not because I'm normally at Hastings game. I probably check Lancing's results 2nd or 3rd on a Saturday before anyone else's. At the end, I always check them because I want them to do well because I like Martin.
Me too. Me too.
Right. So the list.
The list. The list.
So that was the first on the list. We're going to go into. Let's talk about Haywards Heath and Stenning, because a few weeks ago when I actually was like, Haywards Heath could bottle this, I was laughed at, Mike, and you asked for a bet.
I was laughing at you.
And you asked me for a bet, which I reluctantly took because I actually thought, and I reluctantly took it because I thought,
no, that is That's there. That keeps it going. I fucking love that.
So, Bexhill, the Pirates invade. They came, they stole the flag, and they went home. Last minute winner, 4-3. 2 on the bounce for Haywards Heath now. Big couple of games away from. I believe they've got Pagham next, right? Am I right in saying Pagham next?
Yeah,
Pagham,
I think so,
Yeah, it's the. I think that's the rearranged one, isn't it?
So they got Pagham on Tuesday night, and then Guernsey on Saturday.
2 tough games. Very tough games.
If they don't pick up maximum points in those 2 games, what are we saying, boys?
If they don't pick up, like you said, maximum points in those 2 games, you got to think with the run that Stenning are on, it's Stenning to chase, isn't it? Because they're only 3 points at the moment behind Stenning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
3 or 6.
3 points behind, 2 games in hand.
Right.
So let's just say they beat Pagham, right? But then they go and lose to Guernsey.
It puts them in a very tough.
Look, Guernsey are only 8 points off the top with a game in hand as well, right? Only 8 points off the top. Look, I'm not buying into look. Horsham YM are doing great, top of the form table. Guernsey before the weekend flying as well, 1-12 and 13. Peacehaven flying as well.
9 on the bounce.
It's a 2-horse race. I'm just saying. I don't think Stenning and Haywards Heath will drop enough points to allow anyone else to creep into it. But I think there must be some jitters really with Haywards Heath at the moment.
Well, we were at Loxford yesterday, and one of the Stenning players, Callum Condell, his dad does like the burgers at Loxford.
Who were amazing, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
Who you said were amazing earlier? The burgers.
They were. Yeah.
So I spoke to Cal on the phone, and they're just focused on what they're doing, Stenning. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, they're just going from game to game, not taking any notice really of what anyone else is doing, just thinking of the next one. They know that, Haywards Heath lost a cup game, a couple of league games. They know that Peacehaven are on 9 the bounce. They know that YM and Guernsey are still in the mix, but they just go from 1 to 1 and there. And, they will push them all the way. And I tell you what, there's a couple of really big games coming up. You know what I mean? I think Statman did some simulations on winning last week. Yeah. And they had it come out like Haywards Heath for like 90% over like 1,000 simulations to win. Now they're down to 72% in 1 week. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And what non-league just said there as well. What a game that's
Right.
going to be.
Monty, you went to Haywards Heath and won, didn't you, this year?
Yep.
Bexhill just won at Haywards Heath. Where was their last?
Technically, ours was a home game.
But it was there. It was their house, wasn't it? Right. They lost. Obviously, they lost in the Vars on penalties at home as well. Maybe home's not such an advantage at the moment.
I don't know.
It's not looking like it.
When you can get the crowds that Haywards Heath can get, that's always going to be an extra man. You're not telling me they can regularly get 3, 4, or whatever they get. You know what I mean? And that's not going to help them.
It should help them.
That's got to help.
Even when I took the bet, what did I say? I think Haywards Heath will win the league, right? I took the bet just because I know momentum can swing weirdly sometimes. It would be a travesty, in my opinion. It'd be a travesty if Haywards Heath didn't go up this year.
Yeah,
absolute travesty.
All right. So if you had to nail,
no chance, Cam.
If you had to nail your money to the sale now, what are you saying?
I would still say Haywards Heath. I would but I don't know. Sometimes doubt can creep in. and they are really top heavy with players at the moment.
Have they got too many players?
Too many options. Like,
Yeah.
as a manager,
Is there?
it's tough to keep everyone happy, keep everyone in the squad, keep everyone motivated.
Haven't they? Sorry, haven't they got like 7 strikers or something? Is it 6 or 7 strikers on the books as well?
Well, let's go through them. They've got Mark Golston, sorry. They've got Callum Barlow, Tom Chalet. Who else they like? They've got, and obviously they've got Lloyd who plays out wide. They've got fucking so many options. Ryan Warwick in the 10. Like, they've got so many options.
Human.
But
who's playing left back.
But also having that many players in any squad, when the players aren't playing and they start to feel a bit upset, they're not getting game time, negativity comes into it. Do you think that filters through to the squad as well?
It depends on the mentality of the group, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
No, no, no.
You not think so?
I agree with Mike. I think there's a bunch of winners there. I think they're like, a lot of them have done it before with Sten, haven't they? A bunch of the boys have done it, right, including Kev. So there are a bunch of winners there. I think, but that being the case, it still is tough, right? Because you can get jury squeaky, like what Fergie coined it, squeaky bum time, and it kind of is. If they go and nick 6 points the next 2 games, and they go they only go 3 points clear. Is that right? Yeah, it's still tight.
Yeah.
It's really considering where it was. It's fucking tight. So like, AMC have got to take a bit of responsibility here for the fact that they've let it get as tight as they've got.
But now, are we not doing any justice then to Peacehaven, right?
In what sense?
Who went 8 on the bounce, at home, flying, you know, they knew that 3 days before Heath had just come out of a tough Vars game, you know, there couldn't have been a better time to play them. Should we not put a bit of respect on Shatty's team? Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't.
The same as Bexhill, like at the weekend, fucking brilliant. Like, buzzing for Jay and the Bexhill lot for getting the result they got there, and they'd be buzzing with it too. But with that, like, just like what I'm saying is, this, like, Haywards Heath are such a good side that it should be theirs to lose, and unfortunately, it now is a battle, and they've got to make sure that they don't continually drop. They're kind of doing an Arsenal, if you get what I mean. They are kind of doing an Arsenal, Monty, right? Like, in the sense of it getting a bit, the gap being there quite big, and like people were promoting Haywards Heath in December. Let's be honest. Everyone's going, oh, they're up. They're flying. They lost the game.
I was.
But now it's not guaranteed that they're going to go up. So I'm not saying what's gone wrong, because when you look at their results and how they're doing within the league, you can't sit there and go, what's gone wrong? But what you can do is you can go, hold on a minute. Form guide, last 6 games, they've won 2, drawn 2, lost 2. They've won 2 in 6.
But they also went on like 16, 17 on the bounce, didn't they?
Yeah, but 2 in 6 has allowed teams to creep. Has allowed Stenning to creep up.
Yeah,
and didn't Sten have a bit of a stop start at the beginning of the season as well?
Yeah. It started great. Yeah.
I mean, it keeps it interesting for us, doesn't it?
Oh,
do you know
absolutely,
what I mean?
Does it? Absolutely.
it gives us something to talk about.
To be fair, though, I saw Jamie Hollis, the Stenning number 2 at Culver Road on Tuesday.
Yeah, he was there.
He called it. He actually said, Peacehaven will win today. And I was like, be a good game. And he went, yeah. You know, so hey, look, I love it.
And by the way,
Huh?
another man, Jamie Hollis, who had a torrid time at Lancing, but proving that he can be part of something successful.
There's no doubting Jay's credentials. Do you know what I mean? He is. He's a fantastic coach. Do you know what I mean? There's no doubt that. Is Darren Budd still there? No, he's not. Is he?
No, he hasn't been
No.
there for a while.
He's another one I did a dugout diaries with and then left again.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
I think it's quite a good idea that you retired dugout diaries, mate. It seems to be a curse.
If there's any gaffers out there that fancy leaving, just come and just send me a DM and we'll do a quick podcast and we'll make it a bit easier.
I did mine after resignation.
You did, mate. You did.
I marked my card before, and then I jumped.
Yeah. Bill, what else is on the list?
Right.
Is Monty on the list? He saved the penalty yesterday.
Did you, Mon?
Yeah.
One,
It's a record, and it's got to be for record. How many 5 and 5?
tell us about it.
I think it's something like 6 out of 7 penalties I've faced this season I've saved. But be fair, Ethan McGrath, the Forest Road keeper, he saved one as well.
Goalkeeper union there. Look at that.
To be fair, Monty, you just struggle when it's not a penalty, didn't you?
Yeah. That's the issue. Is I'm okay when it's from 12 yards and it's a straight line, but when it's anything else, it's a bit tricky.
And can you explain to everyone why you've got a picture of 3 bridges in the back there?
So
Are you
my
trying
new
to
thing
reach
that I'm
out to
doing is
Crellin for a transfer or something like that?
every week I'm going to be having the ground at which I've played at as my new background, just to try and shake it
rather
up.
than the Manor House for MWP.
Yeah.
I don't want it to get boring. You see, I just like to keep it fresh.
Love it.
So Eastbourne Borough
Yes.
sack their manager in the week.
Yep.
Chairman comes out for all guns blazing. Supporters are fuming, not because the manager's gone, but there's lots of problems behind the scenes. They feel the club's not being ran well. They're not happy with the CEO. They want the CEO out. They want, we've all seen it, right?
Yeah.
Supporters forum gets suspended, so no one can post any more of their negativity. They post that they go out on social media. No one can reply or comment on.
Comments are turned off.
Yeah. So it's a full blanket stop the negative noise campaign by the club.
So wrong.
I spoke to loads of supporters over the last couple of days and stuff, and they won yesterday. And one thing I'm going to make it very clear: those supporters are not against their team at all. They want their team to win, and berating the supporters is probably not the right thing to do, or the way you're going to win them on side. Trying to dumb down their vantage point or what they believe, or the fact that now certain situations have made it kind of more common knowledge to the supporters. Stop trying to pretend that it's a bunch of 17-year-old kids commenting and making a noise. It's not. It's a lot of hardened supporters who aren't happy. It's a lot of guys that one who does a podcast for the club. Others who are big and passionate behind the goal. All these things. It's just been quite negative. Threats going out about, at your peril if you keep acting like this. And, supporters have been sharing messages that have been getting direct from people at the club, which is a little bit silly. And,
so the club have been contacting the fans saying...
I'm not saying who, and I'm not getting into that.
But are you saying the club has contacted certain fans, said we need to keep this...
Oh, yeah, look, the chairman's come out in public and said, look, we need to get behind the supporters. And he went on a BBC radio thing and, said, oh, it's a bunch of fickle 17-year-olds making all the noise. And it's not. It's not. But, it dumbs down what the problems are, right? If the supporters feel that their club's being mismanaged football-wise, they're going to be upset. And you can't argue with them. The club was taken over by Simon and Alan Williams, who Alan Williams runs the day-to-day at that football club. It was taken over. What's that?
Are they brothers?
No. Alan Williams was involved at Crawley. Millwall was a commercial manager. And he's now he spent a bit of time at doing commercial at Eastbourne Borough many years ago, and it didn't last long under the Dave Blackmore regime. Has come back as CEO under Simon Leslie. The club obviously needed the financial infrastructure that Simon brought to the club, and lots of investors Lots of people excited about because he's a great salesman. He's unbelievable at creating a picture and creating stories. The problem with football though is, unless you're doing it on the pitch, you can't create these things, right? And it's hard to you're led. Your drama, your TV show is led by results. So if you look at their 3 seasons in charge, you have to say like nearly got relegated year 1.
Yep.
Shit ton of money, got out of it. We've had thankfully Adam Murray came. Adam Murray is a real leader. He don't take no shit, and it weren't playing in the season that they were in the playoffs. It weren't plain sailing for Adam Murray. If it was, Adam Murray probably wouldn't have left. Like let's be honest. So beat around the bush. We can say I went closer to home, but he was on good money, and he decided to go and be at Kidderminster. And there was loads of talk, and everyone has left the doors as a story, like everyone. So it's not like it's one person with a vendetta or anything like that. There's skeletons all over the gaff. Now, again this year, lots of players left in the summer. Recruitment was woeful. Let's not fuck around. It was woeful. Sorry, you're on mute, mate. Have you been hit with
I said the youngest squad in the league.
Yeah. Which, we'll talk about that in a sec. I'll tell you what I think we'll get this off. It's been mismanaged. Like loads of situations have been mismanaged there. Like footballing wise, I think I think you can't. I don't think you can keep. I don't think you can just keep kidding people.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like at some point, if things aren't going well footballing wise, whoever's making the footballing decisions has to be accountable for what they've done. And it don't mean they've got
making football decisions, Bill.
Well, from the top, like if Hastings were getting relegated every year as me CEO, I'll fucking leave, mate. Like it's embarrassing.
So is Simon making the player decisions?
Simon's the chairman who's off, like working for the company he works for. Like he's off doing his own thing. We'll talk about stuff like this in a minute, like about that. But we'll talk. But look, Simon's got his own business situations that he has to look after, so he's not always at the club anymore. But he's still obviously heavily involved, and the CEO runs the day to day. Can't threaten fans who make like. I find it embarrassing hearing that fans who slag off things get threatened that they might go legal, or you can't say that because that one person, the person who ran a fan forum, said, "I'm stepping down from the fan forum because I'm petrified that things that get said on there, if I let them stay up here, it means I'm liable." Who the fuck's told him that?
Exactly.
Who has threatened this kid that if
Bill,
he's going to get himself in trouble? It's non-league fucking football. Grow a pair of bollocks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bill, on the SNF one on Wednesday, we had the guy that runs the Eastbourne Borough podcast. Was it called Down the whatever it's called, the podcast? Yeah, and he said that they've gone into the groups, they've shut them down, the Facebook groups, all of that lot. It's been a day that literally his phone's been blowing up saying what's going on. There's no communication from there to the fans in there.
Yeah, they do. They shut everything down because they want to control the narrative. Fucking hell! Like if you have to control the narrative that much, you're in the wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, you are, right? Because otherwise you don't need to control the narrative. People can talk all the shit they want about you, Lee, about you, Mike, about you, Monty, about, you might say 6 and 7, but you still let one in, so you're shit, right? But people can say what they want, right? People talk shit about me. They can fucking slag me off and say I'm not good enough for things, or I've had too many clubs in the last few years, and it's all fucking true, right? I have jumped around a bit, but I'm not silencing people. Like, even when I brought up the Beckenham thing today, like that drive home, Steph was in the car with me. The amount of abuse I was receiving on social media that day, right? Not once did I make a threat. Not once did I think, oh, I need to shut. That's not true. I have to shut people because ultimately everyone's allowed an opinion.
Bill, if he owns a club,
yeah,
does he have a right to then shut off those channels of communication?
No. Why? It's a fans forum.
It's a genuine question.
Okay, Daniel Levy got fucking hammered by the Spurs supporters for fucking years, yeah? No, awful. Built a new stadium, done what he wanted to do, right? Do you reckon he went home at night and cried about 3 or 4 comments and so like
No.
4 million comments? Not
Fair point.
Not at all.
4 million comments. No. And it's not like it's a voluntary CEO job or voluntary, like there's loads of people getting paid dough to work at Eastbourne Borough, right? Getting paid to work there. It's a paid job. You're paid. So you should be paid on performance, correct? Yeah.
Yep.
At the end of the day, if
So is it damage limitation he wanted them?
I don't know. Like or the way I look at it, the way I look at it with regards to everything with regards to the club is like when they were doing well. I don't get that.
No, but that's aimed at me, mate. I was in a music video.
Oh, okay. Right. I'm about to say, we're talking about music. We'll talk about music in a bit as well. But like, I look at it and go to myself, sometimes you have to let, like, you've done wrong, right? It's not gone well. The question is now, if they get relegated, which I think they still will, like, it's great that they won the weekend. Again, by the way, when I talk about results that I check Eastbourne Borough first and Lancing second after Hastings, always. Eastbourne Borough is the first one I check. Not because I want to cheer that they've lost, because actually, when I was there at the club, there was so many good people around the club. So many people, so many helpful people. Got to know a lot of the old people, like the Peskets and like Dave Blackmore and his wife and everyone in and around it, right? And they are good people. So like you know, Gary Wilson's and people like that, right? Even the likes of people in the office, they're all good people, and like, so you kind of, and you also understand, like, if they go down, do some of your friends' jobs get affected? You know, Ant Scott is a good mate of mine, right? And he does all the media there. Must be fucking. I've not contacted him this week, so I can imagine it's been fucking hell for him. But he just saw that he's got a new house with his girlfriend, so congrats, Ant. But like, I just think to myself, sometimes you just need a different direction. Like, it don't go right for everyone, and some people aren't.
He's tried a couple of times. He's tried a couple of directions this year.
I'm not talking about just on the pitch, maybe off the pitch, mate.
Okay.
Like, maybe they're spending way too much money and trying to be way bigger than an Eastbourne Borough can be. Maybe they got to get the foundations right again, strip it back, like, think about where they're spending money. Like, they're not a full-time. Like, do they really need to be a full-time outfit? Can they finance a full-time outfit with 800 people coming through the gate?
Not in National League South, you don't need to be.
He was talking about going part-time next season there, wasn't he?
I saw that, yeah, which makes sense because they're going to be in Ishman Prem. With all due respect, like, can they be hybrid? Like, what does that club? How much money does that club need to make Simon's investment worthwhile? Because Simon has invested a shit ton of cash, and this is the thing. Like, I can sit here and talk, right? And it's not actually aimed at any individual. I just think it's a catalogue of rash decisions. I can't see any, like, nothing screams to me planning. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised at all. I would not be surprised if they're trying to, like, they're thinking, right, who's a fan's fate? Like, Tommy got the job, but why did Tommy get the job?
Because he's a fan favourite.
Fan favourite from their whole time era to appease the fans. That's what I think.
It's like I said as well. When they took Tommy on, you look at it and you go, okay, right. He got Aldershot to Wembley last season. They won the cup. They played Spenny Moore. Not really a tough outfit for him to play against because they dominated that game. I was there. But then you look at it and you think, well, he didn't really do anything with Aldershot. They were never fighting playoffs or
they were struggling,
anything like that. If majority of the time they were struggling bottom half.
They're happy he left, and then they're happy that a load of players that they didn't rate went to Eastbourne Borough.
Yeah,
they're happy by it. Like, you just only have to see the comments, and I think, again, like, I don't know, like, it comes down to culture. I genuinely believe it comes down to culture, like, I do, and I'm not gonna, like, again, I feel like it's a lot.
Mike, you muted.
And, like, you know, like you like the bowls thing, right? So long story short, there's been a bowls club there, and it's a massive space, and it's like it's ain't a
Same
knock
as
on the
Worthing.
yeah, but I'm not going to knock the bowls club at all, right? Because they were not nice old, like they're lovely old people, right? But with due respect, the space is a waste. Commercially, it was a waste. Like, I get that, but sometimes you just gotta respect. Do you know what I mean? Like respect the community and like say, right, it is a waste of space. We could do so much more with that, but unfortunately, they are here and they're paying their rent, right? Now, it was stuff. Oh, it doesn't make us enough money, blah blah blah, for what they pay us.
Yeah.
Okay, get that. Then you sit down and you have that conversation with them, and you give them an opportunity to stay there for more money. If they can't, then the narrative's different, rather than a narrative being they've been evicted, right? And then it looks like they've evicted a bunch of old people from the ground, which doesn't look good, right. It doesn't look good.
No.
Removing the darts team, the pool team, because pool and darts in a social club environment is too trashy. We want to be a bit more upscale. Eastbourne Borough is in Langley, right? Langley is with all due respect, and I'm not a snob because I grew up in a council estate, right? It's rough and ready around there in areas, right? It's a rough and ready area for a lot of chimney pots. I once looked out the window of the offices where Simon sits, and I said, "Look." So I looked. You got all these chimney pots there, right? These are the people that you need to get in the ground, and then grow it from here, right? And I think when you start taking away the social club aspect or people wanting to go, all you see is like, oh, okay, we'll have a look at that in a minute. All those things like you see with regards to like the football cage was ripped up, right? They had a cage that was ripped up to put a paddle court in there, and they've not even fucking put the paddle courts in there. They put them inside in the bowls club. So they ripped up a 3G, like sporadically, bang, ripped it up, right? They completely ripped it up to put it in, and then the courts turned up all smashed up, so they didn't go in there. Like just everything nothing seems to be like well thought through, right? And so can we put up that Owen Radley comment, and the other one before that? So yeah, all these things, like, it's not me saying, I'm not coming on here being a whistleblower.
No.
This is all out in the open, right? It's all out there in the open. The supporters are hearing it, and there's been supporters banned. There's been supporters banned from making comments. There's been supporters like fully called out and said, you know, your comments are good. You know, someone could kill themselves over your comments. It's like, fucking hell, really? Like, do you have like? But it's all for me a horrible protection layer through what they're doing. Like, if it ain't working, it ain't working. There's two options. Change it.
It's like it's like he said on the documentary, the 7-part documentary on YouTube they did, and even he said that they haven't got the support, the full support from the area and that sort of thing. And he said that's the one thing that he's found the hardest to break, is to get the full support. And he also said that the cup games, like I think it was the FA Cup, he wanted to have a really good run in that because it is a really good financial income for them.
Yeah.
So do you think at times that they're relying on the FA Cup to bring them in that little bit more money for sustainability?
Not just the FA Cup, sponsorships. Like, you know what? I'm not going to go into the nuts and bolts of it, but the model is to sell as high as possible, right? Rather than plentiful, right?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of commercial managers come and go at like 2-3 month stints. Me being one of them, by the way. Like, full transparency. I did it for a few months. It weren't for me. Like, genuine, and I wanted to do well for the club, but it just weren't for me. Like, the targets weren't realistic, and it just weren't for me. And I left because like it just weren't. I did it because I genuinely like Simon. Like, when you sit down with Simon, he can make you believe you're 20 feet tall. Like, he's that good. Right? And I even when I see him, like, I will have a smirk and have a good conversation because I've got nothing bad to say about him. I'm just calling out like the overall situation at the football club. Because as soon as I walked in the door, I knew it was wrong. The day I walked in, and I could see, and there was little situations I just knew. But get your head down. You just have to try and get on with it, right? Because if you know you can't change it, what do? Do you just like you cause yourself problems from the off? And I I ended up causing myself issues because I didn't fall in form with certain people that rule the roost. So it is what it is. But I think, I don't know, like I say, it goes back to the point. There's two options. One, you change the way you're doing things. It might be an administrational change. Or two, if you can't deliver on what you're promising, or you've had enough, then you sell up. But what is a club in Langley worth that rents its stadium off a community trust? What's it actually worth?
I think I'm more interested who goes in at the moment.
Manager one. Okay.
I mean, you got Robbie Blake as interim at the minute, and he won at the weekend.
Yeah.
So it's good result over Torquay.
But Robbie's been there as a coach under Tommy, right? It's not right. He's been there.
Yeah. But who goes in full time? Who do we think?
Results mask everything, Charlesy, but they're not getting results. And there's a reason why they're not getting results, because the recruitment's not been right and the situation ain't right. And I'm not being funny. You can't keep, it's the same as a Lancing situation. Don't be on the level. You can't keep blaming the managers. So for 3 years, one manager's been successful out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 managers. One's been successful. So you can't keep blaming managers. So at Lancing, it's not worked from fucking since Dave Allendorf left. Let's be honest. So, like, at some point, you've got to look at it and go, it's deeper than a manager, right?
So who are the rumours of people going in?
Right. So I heard a manager in the same league in a really secure situation, which dumbfounded me, by the way. Absolutely dumbfounded me.
Well, is it the guy you mentioned in the group? Is this the guy
the one I told you.
Yeah.
As apply for the job, which I find absolutely mad. And I hope, like, maybe he feels he's outrun where he's at now and needs another jump, but I wouldn't recommend it if I was him in his situation. Steve King, local, knows the area, knows his way around recruitment. The man has a black book better than I've ever seen any black book, and he has the best barnet you've ever seen in your life, mate. I'm telling you. For his age, his hair is incredible, right? and you know, we've had a couple of good lunches. He's a good bloke. I think he'd be up for it. Brad Barry got mentioned earlier. Brad Barry's under contract at Hastings United Football Club, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to tap up Brad. It's obviously it's a way to get supporters on side, isn't it? Like every decision, like, oh, it's shaky. How do we now get people on side? You haven't got to make decisions to get people on side. You've got to make decisions to get results. You've got to make decisions to change things, not the popular. You're not popular, and you're not going to be popular. So make unpopular decisions now to change the culture the way it is. Who else? Probably a few others that will go in the running for it. A lot of people will think it's a good payday because everyone hears Simon Leslie's the millionaire, blah, 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 blah.
Roughly, what would a gaffer get for a year in there? Just average, as in a wage?
I'm not saying, mate. I'm not saying. There's been some well-paid managers at that football club.
Okay.
Well-paid. Really well-paid managers. It's like, but if they're looking for the transition, why would you overpay a manager now?
Yeah. If you said that, would it be enough roughly to get a full-time living on?
It was, yeah.
Okay. Cool. I get that.
Without, yeah, mate. Some managers want decent money. Like, I'm talking decent. Money. Yeah, like decent.
Okay. I don't know. I don't.
Full-time. Borough's a full-time gig at the moment.
Okay.
A full-time gig.
Who we got else on the list, Bill?
Right.
Who else is there?
We're gonna go really quick. I'm gonna get rid of the cringe moaners because I can't bother to talk about them. I think I've had a rant about the Borough situation, so I don't need to worry. I don't want to have another mad one.
Let's move on then.
Ryan Gaylor in with Curtis. At East Grinstead. I think Ryan's fucking brilliant. Really like him. Bold for him.
Just a shame that he couldn't have his first game at the weekend because it got called off.
Will he be doing interviews throughout the game and stuff? Will he be doing Hawkeye?
Just walking off with the old stick going, and I've got Thingy here today with me.
I'm here with the linesman. That first 20 minutes of decisions.
When I first met him, he did one with me in Arundel. It was fucking brilliant. I fucking loved it.
He done it with me on Boxing Day when I was against Forest Road. I turned up, mate. I looked like shit. Didn't sleep. Fucking Christmas Day. I ate about 400 fucking dinners. I was fat as fuck. And he turns up with his fucking little microphone and camera, and it's But look, Ryan's top, and it's East Grinstead. They're like, obviously we've actually caught them on Saturday, hoping for a successful 3 points there. But brilliant, Owen. That's great. But like I like Ryan. Obviously, Kurt's top. You know, I still think the situation's not right there, but I think they just need to get to the end of the year now. And if they stay in place, then hopefully they get a bit of breathing space in the summer to try and put something together for the following season.
So this is what I asked Mike the other day, because obviously we saw that Ryan got the job, and I said to Mike, is he a good coach? Because I've never, since I've been doing non-league football, I've only seen him as Whitehawk doing the stuff there. So coaching wise, I don't really know much about him.
Mate, he comes with receipts. He does.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was a hell of a player as well.
Right.
Interesting. Anything to add on that, Monty?
I'd heard about that. I mean, speaking to a couple of people, because obviously in my position I am at Roffey, I deal with a lot of youth and stuff, and they had a 23s team, and they kept calling it off as Ryan wanted to pull the team out of the league, apparently. So
they pulled out, mate.
Yeah. So, but they'd been trying to pull out for like 2 or 3 months. So
really,
they were getting
so
far.
23s.
Yeah. So Whitehawks started a 23s team. So they folded their.
Paul Farrell runs it, didn't he?
Yeah. They folded their under 18s Isthmian team to set up a 23s team. And then wanted to fold it after about 2 months of the season.
It didn't really help though, because Dow went back to Lewis, and a lot of the players followed Dow around.
Yeah.
So they probably were in a little bit of a conundrum of, can we fulfill an 18s or what can we do at the 23s? Personally, I think they made a mistake giving up the Ishman 18s. I think Ishman 18s is a better. I think 23s county football's dog shit, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
I think it's awful. I think 18s Ishman League's probably better for players. And then if you're 19, 20, you're not fucking cutting a rug, step 7, step 6, then you got to be asking. There's a few questions to be asked, right? So, like I don't know, like with the Whitehall situation, if the youth setup's fucked now, then maybe it just weren't working for Ryan. Maybe it wasn't the right fit for him deep down. And look, he's moved on. You know.
I get that.
Again, this is my opinion. Right?
No, I get it. Even though I did 23's team, I was never a fan of it. You know?
Right, me and Luke Carter did the Upfield one, and it was just a laugh. Like we had every intention in the world, by the way, of getting the 18s players first team, and we did it right. But the actual standard was shit. Like the games were shit, so shit. And then
how can it be a laugh when you can't plan? You don't know what kind of 16 you're gonna have every week. Your training is limited to what the front. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You're a water carrier. That's what you are.
It is. That's what the job is. And look, there is a value to that. I think if there was an Ishman 23s, I think there's a value to it, right? I found the 23s. What it was good for was first team players needing minutes, and 18s that we wanted just to have a look at that we couldn't see on the Sunday because we were having Sunday off because we played on Saturday. So it was always good for that. But by the end of it, it just become a fucking shambles. You get into like the February and Marches, and you're just drafting players into play because no one gives a fuck anymore. Right? The games are gone unless you're going to win the thing. It is a shambles. If you're at a better club like Hastings, when we had a 23s Ishman team, it was brilliant because all the 18s got aims. We were looking at first team football. We were giving them men to play against, and it was giving some very good first team players an opportunity to keep ticking over. And it was a decent standard, but even that by the end dropped a bit, the Ishman 23. So if that's not that great, like county 23s was so hit and miss. Like you could go to Worthing Town, and obviously it's no disrespect to them, and it'd be the the life and soul of what they're trying to breathe into what they're doing. Then you go to somewhere else, and the 23s, some of them are turning up 10 minutes before kickoff and rolling on a kit on. Do you know what I mean? So it was just such a miss. It was such a miss. But yeah, I'll never.
Just jump on.
We're on the best, don't we?
But you do it, Monty, don't you?
Go on, Mum.
Yeah, I help out with the 23s at Roffey, but just jumping on what Billy said when he said it was a laugh doing the 23s. The first time I ever bumped into you, Billy, was at Broadbridge Heath, under 23s. You got sent off from the dugout.
No, I didn't get sent off. It wasn't me. Luke got sent off.
It went down. The referee said it was you who got sent off. Someone wasn't very happy when the referee threw the ball into the tunnel.
He threw the ball at me, Monty.
It didn't seem like a right laugh when I was running.
I'm still competitive, Monty. Like I'm still competitive. But Steph played in that game. Steph remembers that game. So at the end of the game, right? Who was the? Like, we won't call the ref out here, but at the end of the game, he threw the ball down the tunnel because I was swearing for it at me. He did, didn't he, Monty? Yeah, you were there.
I'm going to say silent on that one.
Love that.
He threw the ball at me. I was just like, what are you doing? But to be fair, Monty, in that game, we were down to 10, and he played about 20 extra fucking minutes.
Yeah, I think he played 18 minutes of added time.
18 minutes of added time.
God.
Yeah, it was madness. Like to the point where because we were, I think we were 10. I'm sure we were down to 10, hanging on.
Yeah. Brian got sent off.
Yeah, Brian got sent off. We were hanging on, down to 10, and but yeah, we should have nicked something there at Broadbridge Chief, and that was a county cup game as well, I think.
Yeah.
So
it was still fun though. I still went home having a laugh about it.
So there's just something I want to add onto, which Mike actually spoke about before we came on air, and you wanted to speak about the ground grading and fencing and stuff like that, didn't you?
Yeah, just quickly, right? So
you're jumping out. I'm going to grab another drink, so jump on that.
Yeah, just quickly. So we were at Loxwood yesterday. All right, beautiful ground, lovely little ground.
Yeah, really is.
Surrounded by the trees. But they have to pay 17 grand to get a fence at the front so you can't actually see into the ground. 17 grand.
It's disgusting.
And the FA have made them do that. I was trying to work out. If you look at that money, that is about £1,400 a month over 12 months. Yeah, 350 a week, 50 a day, just for that fence.
Yep.
Right. So how are clubs, and I know Storrington had the same thing, how are clubs supposed to survive when the FA are making them do things like that? And they've got to get that done by the 31st of March. I just don't see that there's got to be some kind of leeway. You've got teams that have been sharing grounds for years. Well, maybe not years, but enough. They keep avoiding relegation. You've got teams that go down because certain things haven't been met. I mean, there's got to be a line where you have to take into account what the club's doing for the community, the players, the younger teams. Do you know what I mean? That Saturday is dedicated to that club. I mean, I think it's wrong. I do think it's wrong.
It is wrong, and it's like I said before. Some people go, yeah, the FA are great, and they help a lot of clubs down at this level, but for me, they don't do enough, and they put in too many unrealistic measures for clubs at this level to reach, because clubs, you only get 50, 60 fans in at a game. That's not going to be able to fund your fencing that needs to be done, so people can't look in for free, that sort of thing. It's
It's not going to. It's
ridiculous.
not going to fund your lights,
No.
the ref, the two assistants, the uptake. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And this is what sort of wound me up a little bit as well. So I was at the Stenning New Haven game.
And just what he
And
says, then that's
oh yeah.
Bridgman's dad there. Stan, who's scored about 5 million goals in the
So
county at the moment.
County Ledge.
so I
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
so I was at the Stenning New Haven game, and to get into Stenning it's £10 to get through the gate. Which, to be fair, I don't mind paying, because at this level, it helps. It helps the clubs to keep going, and you get your pint and your burger and stuff like that. But then there was a couple of New Haven fans that were moaning about the price of the tickets to get in. And it's like, well, go to a Premier League game then and spend 80 to 90 quid on a ticket, and spend round about 25 to 30 quid on 2 pints, some food and a programme. It's price wise, you can't knock it, because look at the football you get. Like that day, they stuffed New Haven, and you got a good game of football for £10. You ain't going to get that anywhere else.
A tenner's fair.
So look,
Yeah.
so sorry guys, I had to dip out. Like I said, I got this cough.
Yeah, that's
so
right, mate.
much honey and lemon at the moment. It's unbelievable. Right. So we're talking about football grounds and ground grading, right? Which is something that's a pain in everyone's ass. They change the rules year on year. It gets tougher and tougher. Right, some clubs don't seem to be right for others. There's some grounds that pass, which you look at and you think, how the fuck have they passed? There's certain rules on like visibility. Like, for example, Little Common had to put a massive fence up around their ground, so it had to be like secluded. But you could just stand outside and watch a game through the fence if you wanted to.
Well, it's what happened to Kim Ridley yesterday. He was banned from the stadium.
But
he was allowed to watch from
that
because it wasn't in the actual stadium. Yeah.
But like, you have to get that. If you don't do that, your ground grading. You obviously can't play senior football. It's all these like things, right? Now, I think it's good in a way that ground grading is there, because the levels should be like pushed up. But we have to be honest at the same time. There's a lot of grounds that just aren't up to the standards, and it's going to cost a fortune to fix, right? Even at the upfield, we looked at it. We recommended new pyramid fencing all the way around the grounds, right? Because the chicken wire, which they've just removed, which is fine, but chicken wire was dangerous, and a few other things were like a bit dangerous, or a bit of rusting and what have you. Thankfully, they cleaned them up and it's all right and they can continue. But if they had to go and put a new fence in there, you're talking 34 grand.
Yeah.
What we just said, yeah.
Mate, yesterday, 17 grand for 2 bits of fencing, mate.
So there's that. Obviously, you have to change your, like, even goal mouths and like goals, and not goal mouths, sorry, the goals and stuff. How many seats you can have at certain thing. Now, don't get me wrong, there should be certain criteria in place, but a lot of these clubs are literally run on pennies, right? And you rely on sponsorship money. Some clubs obviously push heavily on the pitch, which then in turn can bring people through the gates, which then can raise the money off the pitch. So it's a bit of speculating to accumulate. Some won't speculate at all because they're scared about off the pitch. So all the money's like banked up in a bank because they might have to do X, Y, and Z that later down the line.
Yeah.
Then can affect the competitive nature of their side, which then could make the gates go down, and then people not be attractive to sponsors, not be attractive to players, and what have you. So there's a really, really fine line, especially when you're competing at certain levels, whether that's step 7, looking to go step 6, whether you go to step 5, from step 5 to step 4, the jump to Dishman League, You know, some of the Ishmael League grounds fucking awful for the level now, right? Awful. But it's Ishmael South East is kind of like a glorified county league now anyway, when you look at the teams in it, in my opinion, as snobby as that sounds, right? So I just think the ground levels are deteriorating because people just haven't paid attention to them, and also because it's so financially hard to keep up. But if you do a little bit here, a little bit there, you can sneak through it. So I think people just sneaking through every year, Mike, and the longer things go on, older things get and harder it gets. You only have to look at Hastings. Obviously, Hastings put out a statement last week about the ground and about the deterioration between stands. It's going to have to be dropped over. It was meant to be done this year. It's now got a 5-year life cycle, but the amount of people that can go in it drops dramatically from where it is to where it will be in 5 years' time, right? So the club's got to get their shit in order and put other things in place, right? Wherever that seats elsewhere. Obviously, we want to turn the pitch around and put the 3G in, which is getting closer and closer. But that costs money. Like Hastings is a significant 7-figure investment, whether that's private, fund money through the lottery grants and stuff like that. It's hard. So no matter what level you're at, you've always got those financial kind of risks, and unfortunately, that's part and parcel of football. And it's shit, but you've got to maintain some standards, right? Or otherwise, we're going to be playing in dangerous grounds. Like Infinity's ground is fucking horrible. Godalming's ground I've not been to, but so many people said to me that
they hate going there. Yeah,
I can't stand it.
Yeah, exactly. Like Oakwood, not very nice either. Like they're not nice places to go and play football, but it could be worse. Do you know what I mean? And if investments aren't made over the next 5 to 10 years, it will be worse. So does it need a little bit?
What about clubs that just hang around, going, doubling up on grounds? What's the long term in that?
What do you mean? So what you mean? Ground sharing?
The ground sharing.
I think there's no long term future in that. So then ground grading needs to be taken down a notch. Maybe we don't. If people are getting 20 people watching, why the fuck do you need X amount, 100 seats to play county fucking 6 or like
exactly
6? Like with all due respect, 20 people watching. Do you really need it?
There's got to be some kind of line where there's some sense, some common sense, where you decide what you're doing for the community, the players, the people around the club, and what you actually have to do for the FA. I mean, a little fencing there, it's going to cost 17 grand for 1-2 sides. That seems to me, what works out around £50 a day. That seems to me ridiculous amounts of money compared to what they could generate back in revenue at steps at the club like that. You know what I mean? Ridiculous.
Can we go back to Connor's comment about those goals? Because when I was at Steyning New Haven, I was speaking to someone from Steyning, and they were saying that next season there is talk of those goals being done with, and they're going to have proper goals put in.
Are these the wheelie ones where you
and it bounces out? So there is talk of proper goals going in.
Yeah, but there's box goals like aren't just the ones in those grounds, right? You do get normal box net ones as well. Hastings have box nets at the pilot field. Like, we don't have wheels on them, right? They're not all wheeled. Wheel-based goals in 3G pitches obviously make sense because you can move them about and for training and sessions and stuff. I don't know, like how many phantom goals have there really been in the last year? Like how many?
Sten had it against Guernsey.
Right, okay, let's count them up.
Okay, so what I know of recently, Sten had it against Guernsey, Peacehaven had it against Haverseaf. That's in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Chichester game that I was at, the opposition, they had it as well, where it bounced out as well.
If everyone else can see it, why can't the refs see it? I don't get it.
Exactly.
Monty, you're a ref.
Come on, Monty.
Angles.
Refs throw balls at me and stuff. So why?
But what if you're directly viewing it and you're head on with it and it does it? What do you do then if you physically see it?
you have to be 100% certain. You can't give it because you think it's gone in. You have to be absolutely 100% nailed on that it's gone in. I mean, I was doing Dave's college team that he coaches at Thomas Bennett, and they had a penalty, and it's hit at Three Bridges, and it's hit the cushion on the inside the goal and come out again. The whole of the away team start running off and thinking, right, Chelsea have hit the post and they've missed. Whereas I've given the goal because I can clearly see it's gone in.
Yeah.
So when you don't know, like Connor said, doesn't that then come down to the lino? You ask the lino, or can the lino call you over and go, look, it was a goal?
Sometimes they have worse views, don't they?
They can, but like Bill said, they have worse views because they're having to look through a goalpost.
Yeah.
It's good for them to see if it's gone over the line, but when they've got the big cushions like they do at Bridges, you can't see like 3 yards inside the goal. So
hang on a minute,
if it's
that's
on
their
that,
job,
if it's
isn't
on one of the sides
But-
of the goals, they can't
yeah.
actually see.
Isn't it their job to have the view to see? Shouldn't they be
Yeah, but then
in
their
that
views are
position?
obstructed by the big cushions that are put in. They physically can't see through a cushion.
I think they should all be fucked off.
Yeah.
Goals with wheels should be fucked off. Fuck goals off wheels, right? And let's just have normal goals in these 3G places.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Fuck them off. We've had end of the day, if it, but then we'll have situations where, I don't know, a ball will go through a net and it won't be given, or go through the side net and in the goal and it'll be given as a goal. Like, there's always stupid shit, and football's shit, isn't it? Like, human error is human error. But if it's happening too often, then maybe they do need to be fucked off for competitive football.
And then again, I can go to Stenning, and the goals at Stenning, the wheels they have there, they're actually illegal goals because so the way the wheels are at Stenning, the entirety of the ball cannot cross the goal line until it hits the wheel.
Because you're on the inside of the goal.
They're outside the goal.
Outside,
So
sorry.
if the ball's going in and it hits the wheel, the entire ball has not crossed the goal line.
Hang on a minute. You're telling
They
me
bounce out, and that means it's not gone in.
you're telling me
Yeah,
that
so
the
it
one
won't
job
have gone over the line because it's too close to the pitch.
I'm not having that. The one job that these people that make goals have got to do is to ensure that there is room across the whole line for that ball to go across. And you're telling me that the wheels stop that going from there.
I've got an idea.
Correct.
I've got an idea.
If
I'm
that's
going to
true,
change the game.
Oh, here we go.
So, know these big fuck off wheels you have on goals, yeah?
Yeah.
Get rid of them. What we have instead, we have a small line in the back, so like it goes on the goal, like a really small of little wheels, like little kind of like rollers, yeah? You have a long line of rollers that go down, completely down the edge, that are like flat like this. So they're not big pumped up things like that you can hit that goes in a goal. They are like this on the outside, right? Yeah, the little line, but it's a whole roll, like a long roll, like a rollerblade, like
A roller, yeah.
yeah. And you just roll them out. Goals can be rolled in, rolled out on those. Press a button, the wheels go up, it drops flat. But they're like thin wheels, so it's not these big wheels, these big arches. They don't exist anymore. You just have these small wheels going all the way down. Do you know what I mean?
what do you need?
Yeah.
What? Why do you need wheels?
Yeah. Why can't you just fucking lift the goal up and put it there?
Well, you can, but you might fuck the 3G mic, right?
Well, it's a two-man job, isn't it?
Well, for me and you, yeah, but for like every other man, it might be like 8 or 9. So, like these little wheels,
I can't have
change
the design of these goals. Monty, next time you're there, you're gonna have to show me this, mate. You're gonna have to take
No,
a thing.
next time I'm at Stenning, I'll make a little video for you and ping it over.
I can't believe that goals have been put out, and the one job that they have is to be able to let the ball go across.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry. If anyone sees this, and any goal manufacturers out there, we'll have a talk and we'll come up with these goals.
yeah, Bill, there's your next project, mate.
Dragon's Den, here we go.
Yeah, true. Right, true. Yeah, he's got me there. Owen's got me there. Yeah, I can't reach the crossbar, Owen, so I'll be fucked. No, honestly, these little wheels. I'm telling you, like a little long base of wheels either side that literally just don't interfere because it's so small. So what's the problem is, even if on the outside, if it goes and hits the net and hits the wheel, it bounces out, right? And it can do that either side. So I don't know. I think I've come up with a great idea there.
I'm just struggling to see why we really need wheels.
Because the goals get moved, Mike, on 3Gs, don't they? They get moved about.
Yeah, but we've been picking up goals for fucking years, mate.
I know, but you know, where's the blame? There's a claim in 2026.
True.
But yeah,
Right, it's nearly coming to that time for me. So let me do my little outro bit now, and then we can carry on, and then you can cut me off at 9:59. Mike, what are we listener wise so far this week?
1653.
Well, to all 1653 of you, thank you yet again, because the numbers are just being smashed each week that we have this pod on. I think was it earlier you said, Mike, that within the first minute we had 100?
Yeah, we did. People must
So
have been bored.
literally 100 people waiting to watch this pod as soon as we started at 8 o'clock is just unbelievable. But yeah, again, it's just a massive thank you to Jolesy coming on for his holiday while on holiday, and the three gentlemen that join me every week to make this show what it is, from Billy's list to Mike's Cruzy Campo campaign to get sponsored, to Monty joining us with the stats when we need them and everything like that. Because if it wasn't for these three, this pod wouldn't be happening and it wouldn't be what it is today. So, gentlemen, it's just a massive thank you from me to all of you. And also,
we ain't won any BAFTAs yet, mate.
no, I know, but it's nice to appreciate the people that you work with.
You'll be thanking your mum in a minute for making a cup of tea.
Nah, fuck that. She don't make a good one. But also,
Well,
me
at
and
least
Mike.
paid the broadband bill this week, mate, which is good.
Exactly. I had paid that. But also, me and Mike did shoot a little advert for a certain app.
Nice.
Yeah,
What are we going to see on air now?
It is available on your Twitter and everywhere else to view it.
The app will be coming this week, and that everything's passed with Apple, and that will, we're excited to show you guys. It's going to be a little ecosystem for Sussex non-league football. Your fixtures, your live notifications, you follow the teams, you get a message saying, Peacehaven 1-0 up, scored by blah blah blah, in real time. Groundhopper features, all the podcasts. There's guest writers on there. Catches all the matches, live league tables, the lots on there, lads. That we're excited to share it, but we've talked enough about it.
Yeah.
Next few days, it's there. So by the time we speak next week, everyone over it's going to be free as well. The app will be free the rest of the season. Everyone you get involved, and yeah, we're following about 80 clubs on it as well. So,
and we want. And sorry, Mike, just quickly, the people that download the app, we want pictures and we want them sent on Twitter, DMing us, tagging us in it all and everything like that. And no, it's not her coat, it's my coat. It's a men's Parker coat.
Something here. What is? How bad is this coat,
mate? It's not bad. I'm not getting it. It's downstairs, but it's not bad. It's got a fluffy hood. It's got a bit of fur around the hood.
Oh, well, like from like the.
It's a Parker.
Bill, he got the coat from New Look.
No, I got it from JD.
New Look. Yeah, I bet it's from New Look, wasn't it?
Right, I tell you what, I'm going to auction the coat off. There we go.
What for?
End of season. End of season. I'll auction the coat off at a certain event that's hopefully going to be going ahead. So we'll say no more about that.
It's 100% women's coat.
It even has size 8 in it, doesn't it?
It's a size large. Thank you. Size 8. Right, Mike. Get ready to cut me off in 9 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Sit out.
Right, here we go. Should we talk about Hastings?
Yeah, let's talk about Hastings. What's happening? Because you are the DOF, they say.
Yeah, so look, I think it's really honest to like auction a coat and someone's got it. Steph, I can see you wearing a girl's coat, so it's like you can have it. Right. So it's easy in it to come on here and praise, right? And I don't think it's really in my character to not be like brutally honest when things aren't going well as well. I always sit here and say that, I think Dave's fantastic at what he does. I think he's come in. He's if you look at his points per game ratio, like if he's manager at the start of the season, we wouldn't even be talking about being in a relegation scrap or anything like that. And I don't think we've kind of like, I would say, masked over the fact that we probably are in a bit of a scrap, because we are. Like we can't sit here and pretend and say that we're not. We need to be counted for now, and that's all of us at the football club, not just the manager or the players. And I think it's a lot easy to kind of put blame one way or say things aren't being done the way we want them to be done perfectly and what have you, and try and put blame on an individual. And I don't think there is any blame. I think what Dave's trying to do and the way him and his staff are setting out, I think will lead to good endeavour. I genuinely do. But it's alarmed me, some of the games away from home recently in Kent, that we've just not been. I think we should have been a little bit weak.
What as in the players?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I don't think any of them can look themselves in the eyes yesterday and say that they did the basics well enough yesterday. And look, I love the lads, and I've got a good relationship with the boys and obviously the staff, and we're in it together. And this isn't me kind of throwing anyone under the bus, but we have to be honest. Hastings United is a very, very, very special football club.
Big club.
No one should
Big
ever
club.
forget that. And I know it's easy for me to say that, and it's easy for me to be so romantic about the club because of what we achieved in the past, right? But with Hastings United is known as like the east of the East Sussex. Like we're right down there. It's meant to be everyone's horrible weekend. We're horrible. We are a horrible bunch. We like to mix it up. We produce young players that have edge, that have a little bit about them that I don't think. And it's no knock to West Sussex or no knock to anywhere else in Sussex. I am going to be biased because I am East Sussex, but I think there's something that comes from that Hastings grit and that area, that probably because it's so close to Kent. Do you know what I mean? It's got that kind of seaside Kent feel about it.
Yeah, get that.
And I don't think we looked like a Hastings team yesterday. And I'm not saying that these players haven't over the course of Dave's tenure, because if you look at how well Sam Pidgeon's done, and Jordan Mace and a bunch of other lads, like even some of the more local lads in Freddie Legg and Finn Chapman and what have you, we still can be that robust, horrible Hastings. But I just don't think we've been that. I feel like we get letting our bellies being tickled a bit, and the boys have got to take a bit of accountability. And this isn't me calling them out, but it's me being honest and open and saying we're all accountable here. We're all accountable in this scrap, and we've got to put our socks up a little bit more and fucking show a little bit of bollocks. And I'm hoping we can. We've got a hard week ahead. We've got 3 Bridges on Tuesday, and we've got East Grinstead Saturday. So there's no givens, right? But let's show some bollocks. We play Whiteleaf at home, show bollocks. That followed a disastrous away performance against Faversham, right? But we showed a bit of bollocks against Whiteleaf. Merstham as well. What's he doing back?
Is he asleep?
Sorry, boys. Yeah. Enjoy.
he
Go
in
to bed.
He's got to get back to bed. Pull your duvet over yourself. There we go. Yeah, he's in bed.
Sorry, boys.
In bed.
We've got to show a little bit of bollocks that we have in some games. We can't be inconsistent with that though. Like we're in the scrap. We need to lead more, and this is more a case of like the supporters are getting a little bit frustrated, and I think they're getting frustrated in many areas, and I hope we can start pulling that together as a football club and not ignoring it.
You got some big games coming up as well.
Yeah, we got some massive games coming up, and like, look, Dave's diligent as hell. Like, he's brilliant. Like, he's diligent. Like, he's on it. He's today, like, on it. Like, and we know what we've got to do, but I feel the feeling in the crowd, and I don't like it at the moment. I don't like the fact that they feel downhearted and probably not as connected to the club as they have in previous years. And we've got to find a way to make that better.
What needs to change?
The club's in a real transition, like, the ground situation. So it's really, really hard for the owners to be able to split their focus, I think. And we've got to look at that a little bit about, look, because the owners of this football club are football people through and through, right? There's Dean White, Ben White, Mark Gorman, and the people within the club at the top end of football people. So there's no reason why the focus shouldn't be on the football. But there's so much more going on around the club that it's really, really hard to keep that excitable momentum going. And I'm not saying it needs me to be the vocal point of Hastings again. Not at all. Like, I'm available for my club through thick and thin, and doing this job as the best I can do in the current situation. But we definitely need some excitement. We definitely need some togetherness. We definitely need
that starts on the pitch, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And like, the goals we conceded yesterday were fucking shocking. Like, shocking. Bit naive, not defended well. And we got to own that. But these boys are good enough to own that. And I'm hoping the rollicking and I'll say rollicking, but the kick up the arse, knowing it, we've got a big week ahead of us. Hopefully we get to see the best of some of the players again, right? And that's why we've locked certain players under contract. That's why we're pushing in a certain direction on the pitch. But
I hope you do, because it is a big club and can be even bigger. The plans you've got at the pilot field there look amazing. Do you know what I mean? Even if they're going to be delayed slightly. But yeah, you can understand that when teams don't win and there's an expectation at the club of where their standards should be, if they feel that's dropped or they're not getting the rub of the green, sometimes they're going to be a bit like.
Do you know what I don't like? I remember going to Hastings games, and like, again, this is just me being romantic about it. But I remember going to Hastings games, every single game, whoever we played, right? Whether it was a Three Bridges away, a Whitehawk away, a Cray Valley, a Billericay, whoever it was, right? I never ever went to Hastings United game thinking we have a chance of losing today. Never, and I mean that.
And are you thinking that now?
And now you have to pick and choose your battles. And look, that's where we are as a football club. Relegation last season hit the club hard. There was a hangover in the summer. Maybe, look, they went for a manager that it just didn't work out. Wasn't the right fit, but they gave it a go. They went down the direction that they felt was best. They've gone with this direction now with Dave, and end of the day, the results will tell everyone whether Dave's the right guy for a long-term future at Hastings United Football Club. Let's be honest, that's what it is. It's a results game. We all work on results. And we have seen an upturn. But I think we've been a bit shy and naive to the fact that maybe we thought we were away from it. And we're not. So now we need characters that do not want to lose.
Yeah,
they've
100%.
got to get rid of that mentality of you go one down and the game might have gone past you. Absolutely fucking not. You keep first 25 minutes of the game yesterday, we were fantastic. Like, we were a little bit open at times, but we had a lot of endeavour about us. We had a lot of territory. We had a couple of good chances. Damien Viador down the left probably was the most exciting he's been since coming in from Gills on loan. He was also at Burgess Hill the year before, and at Vardinians he got moved to Gills. He's on loan from there now. but it didn't click. We didn't get our goal. We didn't go 1-0 up. We went 1-0 down, and it was like, right, okay, what are we going to do now? And then we conceded a really naive goal just after half time. But we've got to get out of the locker. We can't keep going to Kent sides and getting turned over with like that. We can't. So whether that's personnel, whether that's a change in how we play, whether Dave becomes the magician and comes up with a new style and a new way, which might be the way forward. You just don't know. We'll find out. But I just feel like it's too easy. It's easy on here for me to come on and go, Shoreham are going down, Lancing are going down. Oh, I think Stelling are going to win the league if I don't talk openly about my own club, rightly or wrongly. It might still get me in trouble. People might be pissed off that I talk, but I think if I'm going to talk about other clubs,
no, you got to front it, and that's what it's about. It's about being real, isn't it? Because you're not scared to say that. You know, obviously you would love this to provoke some kind of reaction, rightly or wrongly. Do you know what I mean? It would be there's some lads going, oh, maybe speaking a better line, but do I look at myself in the mirror and think, did I do enough? Did I give enough? Did I take that book in? Did I put that word that bit hard? Do you know what I mean?
For example, Sam Pigeon does I'll give you an example. Sam Pigeon does the exact right thing. He gets spun by a striker, brings him down just over the halfway line, right? They could have broke. Does the completely right thing, yeah? From that free kick, they win the first and win the second and score. And you go, fuck me, the ball can't be dropping in our box. Little things like that. Just little things like that. And I just think to myself, in the Ishman South East League now, I've realised that because under Aggie and under a few other, under Gary and stuff, I think the pitches were a little bit better. No, I talk about it being a glorified county league now. I think the pitches are worse, including Hastings, by the way. I think the grass pitches are worse than they've ever been. Like, they're no good. They're heavy, which means people aren't keeping the ball. And yeah, he's right. We'll talk about that in a bit. I'll talk about that in a sec. You know, like you used to be able to keep the ball, especially the pilot field, look after the ball, find your moments, right? A lot of teams now, ball down, bang, wallop, smashing it 30, 40 yards and playing off seconds. Yeah, and doing it effectively. And then when they lose the ball, getting players behind the ball again. Like you're just seeing the teams that are doing well, like Three Bridges might be a bit more exciting, but a lot of teams that are doing well are just doing the basics right at that level of football. Like Croydon Athletic, just do the basics right. They're fit as fuck. They work hard. Like you just see it and you go, the game at levels changed a bit. Fine, that's football. Sometimes it goes from being overly pretty Pep style to, I don't know, 1970s fucking
Leeds pump and run.
But weirdly, I'm quite perversely, I like that. Right, I like playing off a big nine. And talking about big nines, just a shout out to Will Fenner, who suffered a serious injury for Ringme yesterday. I think he dislocated his knee, or I don't know exactly what happened. But and Tommy's gonna hate me for saying this because when he's fit and ready, how that lad with his physique, turn of pace, eye for goal, size, isn't playing higher. I ain't got a fucking clue. So when Wilt gets fit, I hope he gets well. We hope he gets fit, and you know, all the best for him for the rest of the year. Could you just pull up that comment from Owen quickly, Mike?
Yeah, sure.
Right, Hastings is a great sports experience. Stand falling apart. Toilets from pitch has gone from best. Yeah, right. It has deteriorated over the last couple of years. It has.
Is that a lack of investment, lack of maintenance, eye off the stadium thing? What is that?
I think the eyes are elsewhere, and I think there's been a lack of maybe a lack of care in certain situations, or an understanding of the importance of it.
Maybe took it for granted what you got there, and there's other pressing things.
Look, the pitch was the best, and we were producing unbelievable results, right? The pitch has been the worst it's ever been for the last 2 years, and the club's got relegated and now in another relegation scrap. There might be, I might be wrong, but there might be a little bit of a correlation to that. Do you know what I mean? Maybe. I don't know. There's so many of these things that roll around my head, and I look at it and I go, us as a football club, we need to do better. And we all know it. And again, I'm talking really open. I'm talking really, really candid. And
well, I like the fact, Bill, that you can come out here and front it and take it, and maybe look to provoke that reaction. You know what I mean? You're real. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Some people will think, why the fuck's he saying that? Why is he saying that? You should be saying, keep it in the house and that. You're saying it because you actually give a shit.
I'm always going to speak my mind, Mike. Like, and like, even if someone made a comment earlier, like, am I looking to get back in the dugout? I think it was a comment way up, and we didn't address it at the time. And I think the one thing people got to realise, if I went back in the dugout, I still would do this, by the way, every Sunday. Every Sunday. Because ultimately, for me, like, being real, like being open and being real, I'm like, I don't mind getting banter for doing a shit job, a good job, whatever. Like, whatever job I'm doing, whether I'm CEO, head of football, fucking kit man, or I don't know, like hardened season ticket holder, I don't care. Like, I generally don't. So like when I hear, like, do you want to get back in the dugout? Like, it's always something that's on my mind. It's like, is it, if the right situation arose, of course there'd be conversations, but at the same time, I am enjoying trying to help the club that I built. Like I'm enjoying that, and I'm enjoying a different role, not so hands-on outside of football.
We get a bit of the best of both worlds, really.
Well, yeah, look, number one thing for me is it's simple as this, right? Dave's the manager. I'm not going to pick his players. I'm not going to tell him who to sign. Will we have conversations on players? Always. We're always having conversations. Is there recommendations that we agree on? Yeah. Is there things that we disagree on? Absolutely. And that's healthy. Like, you can't always agree on the same thing, but philosophy wise, we're not far apart. I believe Hastings should outpunch everyone. I'm not saying we go and punch people on the pitch, but do you know what I mean? Like, I think that's who we should be. We should be the most aggressive fuckers in the league, and people should be scared of Hastings. That's what I think, anyway. And that might not suit every manager that we speak to, work with, or whatever. If I'm in this role long term, right? Whether I'm with Dave for 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, or there's someone else who comes in afterwards, or whatever. Some people are more delicate. Some people are like Giles. He's most aggressive. Like, he's aggressive, right? Like, there's no, and his team are aggressive, but he's got his own journey. Then there's other managers like Chris Agata, technical as fuck, but also so aggressive. Yeah, Dave, he's got that bite about him, right? And I think to myself, we need to see, if we've seen this from managers, we need to see it more from the players. They need to have a bit more bite. And I get fearful that the younger demographic of players, Monty, you're a young player yourself. I feel like certain players, my hand moves in 5 minutes, brilliant. It's because I've been talking non-stop. I think, is the younger generation a little bit softer? Like, are we seeing those nasty, like, skinhead centre halves wanting to bleed to win a game of football? Like, are we seeing
me?
Like, but yeah, I know. But are we seeing it? Like, is it because what's happening is there's a generation of really good footballers coming through. They're coming up against those 34, 35-year-olds now who are still hanging on, and by the way, playing A level just because they got a bit. And they shouldn't be playing. Some of them shouldn't be playing the level, but they are, because they got nous about them and know how to win games of football. Right?
Winners,
yeah,
characters, leaders.
Right? I look at some centre halves and go, "Fuck me, roly poly, we're gonna get round him with ease." But he's winning everything in the air, and he's commanding his back line and what have you. But for me, is it because a generational era is a little bit softer, and we're losing that from the game?
Potentially, as a country, that's happening. Do you know what I mean? It seems like real men years ago. Do you know what I mean? It seems like there is a few softer ones going through, but then again, players are more technical these days than they used to be.
But the pitches don't allow it. Apart from the 3G pitches, a lot of these pitches aren't allowing you to be technical. Imagine, look, Connor, from what I hear, is a good coach, yeah, at Shoreham. He probably wants to play football. Can't play football at Shoreham. Tell me if I'm wrong, Connor. Like, you're listening.
You saw the other day on the Grimsby game, you know what I mean? The FA Cup game, see the state of that pitch. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Mm.
Well, I think that's a perfect way to end it there, Bill. And that being honest, real, and that, you know what I mean, as a message there. Monty, thank you once again, my man. Thank you to everyone. Again, incredible numbers, people. Do you know what I mean? And let's look, what do we hit? 1872.
Oh, brilliant. We're 1900 again. Great.
Yeah, it's brilliant numbers across the platform. So, guys, thank you ever so much for your support. We keep doing this. Once the numbers are there. Yeah, thanks to Monty. Thanks to Lee, well, he's already in bed. Bill for flying back from Hollywood, and that after sorting out all those multi-million-pound contracts with his rappers and his artists that he's got there. And yes,
you're coming to a gig on Thursday, Mike, and you?
Yes, we are. We're going to see Liam C in Brighton. You got us on the door, haven't you, lad?
I have indeed, just sorted. Yeah,
lovely.
In bed by 10 special.
You know that. So everyone, thank you ever so much for tuning in again. We'll be back next Sunday. Hope you have a great week at work. It's Monday tomorrow, you know, so everyone's a bit like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's Monday. But cheer yourselves up. We go again. Take care, everybody. Thank you once again.